Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Put.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poet. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. He'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. He'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause it's time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
arrived. To demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio.
It's time to demand
First Contact Radio. We have arrived. First Contact Radio. Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing? Welcome back to First Contact Radio. How you doing today? Glad you could be here. Let's jump into it. Today is the 25th of September, Rosh Hashanah. Our moon sign is in Libra. Our sun sign is also in Libra, so we have a double Libra day. Libra, and the tarot card is the card of justice, all about karmic balance. Hebrew letter ox goad, connecting things together, balancing them out. So we learn some important lessons about how the things we say and do can affect us. So we learn to say the things that will help us and learn how to avoid saying and doing the things that will hurt us. This afternoon, 1:19 p.m., we do have a aspect going on between Uranus and Jupiter. Jupiter's the planet of expansion, so Uranus, right here, unexpected changes. So Jupiter has a nice, good, positive energy, a trine going on with unexpected changes, surprises. So that's a good thing, and this Jupiter expands things, so the area and the realm of us going through something unexpected, it's right then and there, it's being expanded. Let's look at our numerology for today. Our numerology today is number 5. It's number 5. 9 plus 2 plus 5 plus 2014. Altogether adds up to 23. 2 plus 3 equals 5. That's our numerology for today. That is, of course, according to the Gregorian calendar. There's lots of different ways we can look at numerology, add up the numbers. We can do it with names, with birth dates, so on and so forth. So we're using this in this particular instance for the Gregorian calendar because this is what we look at every day when we look at the time that we are following. It's not the only time system on the planet. It's just one particular one, and it's one that a majority of the people are following. So therefore, we look at it that way. Let's jump over and look at the tree. Okay, our placements. 5 right here. Hierophant, we've seen that plenty of times. And right here, our moon sign and sun sign Libra. Right? Now, we've looked at Libra pretty good. We've looked at the Hierophant. What I want to look at today, we haven't really looked at this one, is let's look at the Fool. Because I showed you that Uranus was part of the mix today, so let's take a good look at the Fool. See what the Fool's all about, dealing with that exact planet. The symbolism of the Fool is best explained by first considering the meaning of the Hebrew letter Aleph. Aleph is the letter on the Fool. Aleph means ox. Oxen symbolized the mode of power in agriculture because they were used to pull plow, etc. Agriculture is the basic form of civilization. Thus, the letter Aleph symbolizes cultural power, creative energy, life power, the vital principle of plants, animals, and men, which comes to us in physical form as the energy of the sun. The principle is also called life breath. It is the Greek pneumona, the Sanskrit prana, the Hebrew roch, the Spanish or the Latin spiritus. Literally, these words mean breath. Secondarily, they refer to the spirit or the all-pervading life energy. This meaning is sustained by the title. The Fool is derived from the Latin phallus, meaning a bag of wind. Thus, the Fool symbolizes that which contains air or breath. The number 0 carries the idea a step further. It is a symbol of the limitless, unconditioned life power. The 0 is shaped like an egg, hence it symbolizes that which contains all of the potencies of growth and development. Occultists will understand that we refer to the cosmic egg and to the ring past knot. In the picture, the sun refers to the one force. It is white to indicate that it is the universal radiant energy which is concentrated by the radiated from all the suns in the universe. The mountains represent the abstract and mathematical conceptions which are behind all knowledge of nature. As such, they are cold and uninteresting to many, but the melting of the snow upon the peaks feeds the stream that makes the fertile valleys below. So will the 8 principles of ageless wisdom feed your consciousness and make them fertile, your mental imagery, thus transforming your life. The Fool's eternal youth. He shows that the one force never ages and is always the height of its power. He attributes his attitude expresses confidence and joyful aspiration. The wreath around the Fool's head symbolizes the vegetable kingdom, also victory. The wand is will, the wallet memory. The white rose represents purified desire. The Fool's garments consist of a white undergarment and a black outer one, which is lined with red. White is purity, truth, wisdom. It is covered with the black of ignorance and delusion, which is lined with passion, action, and desire. It is held with the girdle having 12 ornaments, 7 of which are showing. This represents time, and astrologers will find the contemplation of this symbology of much interest. The wheels which ornament the outer garment are 8 spoked. They symbolize the whirling motion by which the one force manifests itself. The little dog symbolizes the intellect, the merely reasoning mind. He's a faithful companion, but he must have a master. And we could see here 0. Aleph means bull. Astrology, Uranus. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because Uranus is part of the mix today. So Jupiter expansion. So with this Fool, the energy idea of the Fool is being expanded. Okay? So today could be a day where we all find ourselves to be a bit foolish. And if you understand the true meaning of what was just read there, you'll understand that that's not a bad thing. All right, the current moon phase is making its way up now to a full moon. We're just past a new moon. It's waxing 2%. You see that slight sliver there. So it's going to be 2 weeks till we get back up to the full moon. With the coming of fall, Deneb slowly replaces Vega as the bright star nearest the zenith just after nightfall. The Mayan Oracle, we're on a 5-tone day, which is right down here. So it is the 5 dog, the overtone dog. The overtone radiates out, so it's the dog guided by the mirror, which reflects endlessness. I empower in order to love, commanding loyalty. I seal the process of heart with the overtone tone of radiance. I am guided by the power of endlessness. Space weather. Our solar wind is currently at 460.3 kilometers per second. Planetary K index is in the 3 to 4 range. It was pretty solid at a 4 last evening. There's one slight coronal hole now. I say slight, but this is probably wider than several Earths, so it's not such a slight corona hole, huh? M-class flare possibilities 35%, X-class is 5. Geomagnetic storm activity is 35 in the mid-latitudes and 50 in the high. So we do have some activity taking place. Have your cameras ready. Might have some good sky shows. On the Jewish calendar today is Rosh Hashanah, for 1 Tishri. 1 Tishri, so we switch days. So always remember now, on 1 Tishri is the first day of Rosh Hashanah. On Tishri 1, the 6th day of creation, God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish in the sea, and over the birds of the air, over the cattle, and over all the earth." God formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And God took the man and placed him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to keep it. And God said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper." Opposite him, God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept, and he took one of his sides, and closed up the flesh in its place. And God built the side which he had taken from the man into a woman, and brought her into the man, and said to the man, Now, this is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She should be called a woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man leaves his father and his mother, and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh. Goes on to say that on the very first day he was created, man committed the first sin of history, transgressing the divine commandment not to eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Adam and Eve were banished from the garden, and mankind became subject to death, labor, and moral confusion. But in that day, the first man and woman also repented their sin, introducing the concept and opportunities of teshuvah, return into the human experience. Also on the first of Tishri, in the 307th day of the great flood, Noah dispatched a dove from the ark for the third time. When the dove did not return, Noah knew that the flood waters had completely drained from the earth. On that day, Noah removed the roof of the ark, but Noah and his family and all the animals remained in the ark for another 57 days, until the 27th of Ch11, when the surface of the earth was completely dry, and God commanded them to leave the ark and resettle and repopulate the earth. In 677 BCE, Abraham's supreme test of faith, his binding of Isaac in preparation to sacrifice him as God's command, occurred on the 1st of Tishri in the year 2084 from creation, and is recalled each Rosh Hashanah with the sounding of the shofar. It's a ram's horn. A ram was sacrificed in Isaac's stead when an angel revealed that the command to sacrifice Isaac was a test, a divine test. The Torah's account of the event is publicly read in the synagogue on the second day of Rosh Hashanah. On the day of Isaac's binding, his mother Sarah passed away at age 127. Alright, and let's go down here. Let's see laws and the customs. The first night of Rosh Hashanah, we extend to one another the greeting Ashana Tova, apples and honey. So, alright, and our daily thought, let's get down here. In the beginning God spoke and the world came into being. On Rosh Hashanah each year we speak praises and prayers, petitions and pleas. We speak of ourselves and we speak of others. On Rosh Hashanah every word we speak counts, because according to what we speak and how we speak, so God speaks. Our world comes into being. And we go over to here. Right here. Here's the saying, La Shana Tova, for a good year. So right here, La Shana Tova, for a good year. And right down here on this link, you can have your very own sounding of the shofar. Here we go. Alright, there you go. Salah Levanat Tova. Happy New Year, one and all. Let us move on to the next phase, which is UFO news. I'll be back.
Demand the truth. This is the UFO news with Joshua Poet.
Alrighty, Dirk, thank you very much. First sighting here comes to us above Normandy. Here we have a shot from an iPhone. This afternoon, the sky of Normandy was reportedly occupied by a fleet of 7 UFOs, according to witnesses. While the exact date of the mysterious event is still unknown, it is assumed that what happened was during sunny weather, as the witness claims that he was out for sunbathing when he spotted the strange appearance between the clouds. The witness said that he was on his yacht sailing and enjoying the amazing view of the sky in Normandy with a friend. While taking a sunbath, the witness was relaxing with a huge chemtrail view across the sky and some beautiful clouds. Suddenly his attention was shifted to something else, which he said he doesn't remember. He stopped watching the sky for some minutes. then decided to look at the sky again, spotted something unusual, which he described as little strange dots of close light close to the large chemtrails. And that's when he brought his iPhone, took it out, and got these images. All right. Next, see this round object? You know where this is found? On the surface of Mars. Does it look natural, man-made, artificially made? NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory has released a photo of what appears to be a perfect sphere on Mars. While this occurrence does happen in nature, it is extremely rare and is usually associated with water flow over long periods of time. Also, the fact that the sphere is by itself makes it even more mysterious. There it is again in the picture. Alright, interesting. And you can go, of course, to the raw image from NASA right here. Moving on, over Alaska, ball of light hovers. An Alaskan witness at Eagle River reported watching a ball of light, UFO, that appeared to move intelligently with hovering and course correction, according to testimony from the MUFON database. The witness was walking home from a friend's house at 1:15 a.m. September 21st, when the object was first seen. It was a dark sky with light cloud coverage, and a ball of light was apparent. The witness stated it did not have the shape of the northern lights. I thought the object was a meteor, but it never picked up speed. The witness decided to take pictures of the object. 5 images were submitted with the MUFON report. You can click on them right here to see all the different images. The witness describes the object. He said it was a little difficult to estimate due to the distance, but I believed it was possibly the size of a car tire. It came towards my direction slowly, appeared to hover, then adjusted of course, and left gracefully within 10 seconds. I was worried because I wasn't sure what it was, and it was coming within my vicinity. I watched the object leave. Okay, very good description, good sighting. Next, British government to make 18 more UFO files available. Despite promising all its unworldly data had already been released, a further 18 files will be made available this year. Ministry of Defense officials previously claimed the last of the UFO disclosure files were released last June. However, the government still will declassify and release the archive to the National Archives by the end of the year. The public will have access to files around September 2015. Nick Pope, a former MOD official himself, said how important these files could be. This is a huge embarrassment for the MOD and will have UFO enthusiasts up in arms, he said. When the government said that all its UFO files had been disclosed, conspiracy theorists didn't believe everything had been made public, and it turns out they were right. The 18 files include ones from the RAF radar specialist and from the ultra-secretive Defense Intelligence staff. So there may be some incredible UFO and alien disclosure still to come. Conspiracy theorists, alien enthusiasts, and ufologists will be tripping over themselves to get their hands on these new files. The UFO community had previously been concerned the MOD had withheld some of the more sensitive cases. Last June was the end of a 5-year program which promised a release of all the British government information on aliens and UFOs. In 2007, the Ministry of Defense made the decision to have complete disclosure of all its archives, following in the footsteps of the French government, who ostensibly implemented full UFO disclosure the year before. At that time, the department was swapped with the Freedom of Information Act request. UFOs were the most requested subject. In December that year, the MOD confirmed the reports, the news of the release, to Pope, who subsequently leaked it to the media. Some of the files are open and shut cases. One witness saw a flying object with green and red lights heading in the direction of the Gatwick Airport. Alright, so there you go. Move on to the next story. This one is UFO Digest. Has to do again with the Vatican. The Vatican hosted a conference in 2009, bringing scientists, astronomers, and religious leaders together to discuss the implications on religion and human consciousness if the discovery of extraterrestrial life is found. One of the statements made in the conference was the fact that extraterrestrials would be part of God's creation and therefore regarded as their extraterrestrial brother. The Vatican participated in another 2014 conference in Arizona which again talked about the implications on mankind when we discover that life exists in the universe other than Earth. We've come a long way from the day of Galileo's persecution. They've been out of the first religion. They've been one of the first religions to embrace the future possibility. NASA and the Library of Congress brought together scientists, theologians, and astronomers to discuss and prepare the world for the inevitable discovery of life in the universe. They don't stop at just microbe life, but go further and add intelligent life. NASA wants to prepare the public before the discovery and the announcement, as well as the Vatican. Theologians were invited, and one wonders if scientists were giving the different churches, denominations, the heads up. They need to prepare their congregations because the inevitable announcement will come. Many scientists felt the populations would handle it well and go on with their lives. The questions asked in the conference was, does an intelligent life form have a soul? One of the Jesuit astronomers answered that believes that they do, and he would be excited with the announcement. Water and exoplanets are being discovered more and more. So according to NASA scientists, findings out there is inevitable. All right, so we see that they are preparing for something. Do your friends who that are Catholic, do they know that the Vatican has done all of this? Ask them. Ask your friends that go to church, the Catholic Church. Ask them if they've talked about this. I will bet, because I have friends that are Catholic as well, I will bet that this is the first time that they ever would have heard about it. Because even though the Catholic Church is out there doing this, and all the whatever other churches are, they're not making it a big public to do. It's just something behind closed doors that they seem to do. And because if it was really knowledgeable, then we would be able to ask anyone we know that goes to the Catholic Church, and they would be able to tell us, oh yeah, this is what they talked about. But they don't. All right, then here's the second part of an article that I started last week, where the Maya visited by an extraterrestrial named Quetzalcoatl. This is part 2. Come to the day of the future. Here are the buildings unlike those we build, yet they have breathless beauty. Here people dress in materials we know not, travel in manners beyond our knowledge, but more important than all of these differences are the faces of the people. Gone is the shadow of fear and suffering, for man no longer sacrifices, and he has outgrown the wars of his childhood. Now he walks in full stature towards his destiny, into the golden age of learning. Carry this vision on through the ages, and remember QUETZALCOATL, the prophet. In Book X of the history, the 16th century chronicler Fray Bernardo de Saguin described the departure of the wise men who had been attendant priests of QUETZALCOATL at Teotihuacan. These wise men remained not long. Soon they went. Once again they embarked and carried off the writing, the books, and the paintings. They carried away all the crafts, the casings of metals, and when they departed, they summoned all those they left behind. They said to them, our Lord, the protector of all, the wind, the night, saith you shall remain. We go, leaving you here. Our Lord goeth, bequesting you this land. It is your merit, your lot. Our Lord, the master of all, goeth still further, and we go with him. Whither the Lord, the night, the wind, our Lord, the master of all, goeth, we go accompanying him. He goeth back. But he will come to do his duty. He will come to acknowledge you. When this world is becoming oppressed, when it is the end of the world, at the time of its ending, he will come to bring it to an end. But you shall dwell here. You shall stand guard here. A surviving Toltec legend includes the prophecy Ch11, which means Quetzalcoatl spent the night with a Huiteca family. They fed him and played music for him. The father, a strong Indian farmer, showed Ch11 the stone carving he had and told him, this carving tells of the coming of the Lord of the Dawn. It says he will come in the year of one reed. It says he will build the city and change the world. The farmer had no idea who he was talking to. He continued, now he said, many people say he will not come. Many people say it is a long time from now that he will come. Some people say that he will come from the east, and that he will bring a great book of words and numbers. Other people say he will come from a tree and count the last 20 days of creation. What do you say about this? Ch11 grew gray with the depth of his answer. If I told you all of my thoughts, of what I know of the spirit of the Lord of the Dawn, if I told you of what I think will happen, you would laugh and think me crazy. So I say only this. One day a race shall walk upon this earth, a race of men whose spirits are so great, whose wisdom is so complete, whose powers to commune with the Creator are so keen, that they will dwarf the doings of the Lord of the Dawn of our day. When that day comes, the Creator will send forth a manifestation that will in turn amaze the wisest men of that unbelievable age. And even the greatest brains on earth will wonder, has he come? Will he come? Or has he been here? When he departed, QUETZALCOATL promised to the 13th heaven and opened the first of the 9 hells, and he vowed to destroy the man-made gods. He set the year and the date of his birth, 260 years later, on day 1 read, in year 1 read, and he said, I shall return, I shall come from the east like the morning star, and I will fulfill that part of the prophecy. It is said that when QUETZALCOATL passed away at the age of 52, a hush fell over the entire planet, and burning bright in the heavens directly above the great tree, the tree of life, glowed the planet Venus, the morning star. QUETZALCOATL also foretold the following. In time, white men will come out of the eastern sea in the great canoes with white wings like a big bird. The white men will be like a bird with 2 different kinds of feet. One foot will be that of a dove, Christianity, the other that of an eagle, predator. A few hundred years after that arrival of the first white men, the other white men would arrive with both feet, as a dove. QUETZALCOATL himself, or the spirit, would come in the form of the white dove at that time. As a poetic prophecy transmitted by Joseph Ch11 also announced the recent return of QUETZALCOATL. One of the incarnations of QUETZALCOATL is buried beneath the roots of the sacred Ch11 tree near Oaxaca, and the first rays of the dawning sun of the new heaven cycle sink into the depths of the earth. Billions of tiny spirits will burst from the hearts of QUETZALCOATL. They will slowly rise through the trunk, through the limbs and the branches, appearing as sparkles of light, finally erupting into the limbs and the branches. To circle the globe, each spirit to implant itself within the heart of a human being, and a plant of a crystal of peace and love. Alright, and that is the end of our article. And that is the end of UFO news for today. I'll be back. We'll continue on.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
let's continue on. So today, chapter 11, Bringers of the Dawn. Here we go. In order to survive in the times that are coming, it is imperative to move into the idea of thought manifestation or superconsciousness. Superconsciousness is only a word to you at this time. It is not a concept that is inside of you yet, because you cannot conceive of being so in time. So in tune and filled with so much information. Yet as you evolve, that is what you are moving towards. There are those who are very aware of this movement of consciousness. As you evolve, that is what you're moving towards. There are those who are very aware that this movement of consciousness could begin to sweep the planet, and they are banking on it not occurring. It has already occurred. We have come back to your past to assure you of this. Thought comes first. Experience is always secondary. It is never the other way around, that you have the experience and then you have the based thought around it. Always your experience is a direct reflection of what you are thinking. Clarity and recognition of your own power are the bottom line. Your thoughts form your world all of the time, not cafeteria style all of the time, because you are bombarded with so many frequency controlled vibrations that attempt to keep you from being clear. You fluctuate. You must, as a species, make it your intention to stay very clear, to stay centered, and to always bring yourself into the moment. Stop living in the future or living in the past, and always live in the now. Say to yourself, what do I want? I want to accelerate my personal evolution. I want spirit to assist me in a greater capacity. I want my body to regenerate itself. I want to emanate health. I'm willing to give up difficulty so that I can be a living example of what humanity can be. It is this line of thinking, this commanding from your being and calling out to what you want with clarity, that brings you everything in acceleration. Watch your patterns. If you find yourself denying that you created a portion of your experience and you don't want to own it as your own creation, simply look at it. Say, isn't this interesting? I do this all of the time. I don't want to own what I am creating. If I don't like it, I blame someone else. Let me see how long I will do this, and let me come up with a solution to develop a different pattern of behavior. Don't judge yourself. Begin to say to yourself, I will accept responsibility for all that I am involved in. I will accept responsibility for everything that happens to me. If I don't like what is happening to me, I will begin to ask myself why I created things that I don't like. Maybe it's to get my attention about something that I can change, what is really not working for me that I cannot see. Always act as if there is an impeccable purpose to everything you do. Act as if your highest good and your highest opportunity involve working through every event you're involved in. Always act that way. If you are walking down the street and someone says, I've got a gun in your back, let's have your purse, act as if you are being given an opportunity for your highest growth. You'll never know what the results are going to be if you begin to act this way. When you act as if you act without knowing and without expectation, this is an attitude. If you all could have this attitude and act as if every event is designed to propel you further into your growth and awareness, then you might turn around and find that the person holding the gun in your back is a counterpart or portion of yourself. You might be able to heal yourself. You might be given an opportunity to do something that you are afraid of. Do not be afraid of what you create. Trust what you create. Trust that there is always something in it for you. Do not sweep your dramas under the rug as if they are dirty old horrible things and you never wish to see them again. Get finished with these dramas. Stop cycling in them and being lost in them. However, understand that the drama you have had with your mother, your brother, your sister, your lover is something that you may use 20 years later to come to a whole new realization. So let these life dramas be like a file for you. Finish them up, resolve them as best you can, create peace, accept your part in them, and let them cycle back through the consciousness to teach you something. Let them be ongoing treasures of experience for yourself rather than hackles that you want to get past. Emotion is connected with these things, and remember, emotion can take you into other realms of activity. Do you believe that you only create reality in certain areas and that in other areas you are disempowered? Do you argue that you have no control over some areas of your life? Do you give up what is naturally yours because society tells you cannot have it? But you will find that events do not come out of the blue. Some of you believe that you create your own reality, but that others do not create theirs, especially little babies who have all kinds of things happen to them, or children who are abused. It is a difficult concept for many of you to grasp that seemingly helpless children or starving people also create their reality. Whenever you buy into the victim mentality, you send people the idea that they are powerless and that you make them the probability one for yourself. You must learn to honor other people's dramas and lessons. Realize that the newspaper is not going to tell you about the potential for change that exists for all of those involved in a particular scenario, because newspapers do not report and cover things in that way. You do not understand the underlying synchronicities of events your media exposes, only the external so-called facts, and ignore the rich riverbed of emotional significance that accompanies human dramas and lessons. Those who are involved in dramas which look like someone is a victim are usually so out of touch with their feelings that they do not connect how they feel with what they are thinking. Victims find victims, victors find victors, so please, with any newspaper events or world drama in which it looks as if people are hopeless victims, honor them and honor yourself by saluting that they created their own reality. It may not be your reality. It may not be a reality that you need to learn from or anything that you feel a need to participate in. You must understand that others must go through their realms of density to bring them to the light. Sometimes the greatest enlightenment lies in the greatest catastrophes and the greatest difficulties. When you go to a restaurant and order something you want, the chef prepares it and the waiter brings it to you. You order it, however, you don't make it. Somehow the cooks or the spiritual energy make it, yet you select it to be put before you. It will not be put before you unless you go to the restaurant to order it in the first place. So you are responsible for it, and you pay for it. Life is the same way. Life is like a restaurant. Learn how to order what you want from life, like you do in a restaurant, and then trust that, because you ordered it. It will be put before you. When you go into a restaurant, you don't worry every time and wonder whether or not you deserve to have it. Well, sometimes you do. Sometimes you say, well, I don't deserve to have that. That costs $15. I can only have something that costs $7 or less. The way that you act in restaurants is a wonderful indication of the way you act in life. It is an incredible teaching to understand. When you go to a restaurant, do you simply order and say, this is what I want, and trust that it's going to come to you? Or do you worry and say that they're going to screw it up? As soon as the order is in, do you follow the waiter to the kitchen and say, oh, they probably don't have the right lettuce. They probably won't saute their onions just so, and they won't have that kind of mushroom I want. No, I trust it will be presented to you exactly the way you want it, and if you let it go, when it is presented to you, you say thank you. If it is not quite right, you ask for what is needed, then you proceed. Look at divine nonchalance when you have your order things in a restaurant. This is how you order up life. Get clear on what you want, order it, and be done with it. Don't keep calling up spirit to see if they got the order and give advice on how to fill it. You ordered it. Trust that it will come. You are a result of your thoughts. If there is nothing else you learned from this planet, you will learn that this is the rule of the reality and the rule of many other realities. Thought creates experience. Why not give yourself a gift and begin to think of yourself in a capacity that is exceptional, magnificent, and uplifting? Free yourself from the need to have the rest of society agree with you. Validate yourselves. For some of you, this is very difficult. How do you evaluate yourself when you are in the habit of not doing it? Your words are either empowering or disempowering. We want you to have the courage to live your light so that you emphasize you and convince you that in whatever way possible that your thoughts formulate your world. Eliminate the words should and trying from your vocabulary. If you were to pay money every time you say these words, you would be in a great debt. You are in a great debt of disempowerment or impotence. Should implies that you are operating under someone else's sovereignty. We would like to remind you that you are sovereign unto yourselves. If someone is trying to put a newsletter or trying to change their pattern, They can try for the rest of their lives. Trying is not doing. Whenever you use the word try, you will not accomplish anything because trying is an excuse. I tried to do it. I tried. In your own life, use the words I am creating, I am doing, I am manifesting, I am intending, I am bringing about. Forget I am trying. When you become a doer and are able to manifest what you want in your life, you set yourself up as a mirror for many people. There has been a belief in that there is a limited amount of everything and that only one person or the other can be a doer or manifester. When you begin to show that you can bend the laws that they want, and they can't get it unless you don't have it. If you put yourself behind others and are afraid of what they are having what others do not have because you think there is not enough, you do not understand that as you allow the divine principle to work in your body and anchor themselves upon the planet, that you become a living example of light. You allow the underlying purpose of light to move through your vehicle, and you become a living example of what others can do. There is a high vibration that we intend to teach all of you. We want you to understand that there is no limitation. There is no limitation on the entire planet. Each person on the whole planet can operate in cooperation and uniqueness of being. Whatever gifts of spirit and materiality come your way, don't think that you are more lucky than others. Instead, simply understand that I am able to get the divine principles to work in my physical body and that I can show others how. You can say, listen, it works. I've been able to do that. You can do it as well. We spend hours teaching people about not being afraid to manifest. Each of you is frightened because you grew up with an ethic that says, only if you work for something is it of any value. If you do not put in hard work, and you cannot get things. It is imperative for all of you to look at this idea of hard work and where it came from. Look at your parents and the belief systems that they have had. We are talking about birthing a consciousness that represents the new human species that learns how to do things effortlessly. If something is not being done effortlessly, then forget about it. If it looks like it is too much work, something is telling you it is not the way. Only when something comes together effortlessly and simply fits, with no one doing too much of it, is it right. If you all begin to live like this, you will completely change how the species of consciousness approaches life. It is not irresponsible or a cop-out. It is a new way of carrying bricks from one place to another. One time we talked about a big pile of bricks with a group of people and asked them, how do you move the bricks? They all said, well, you pick them up one by one. And we said, no one ever thought of hiring someone else to do this. If your assignment is moving bricks from here to there, how are you going to do it? Your first answer may be, well, I will move them. I will pick them up. However, you could go call someone and say, move these bricks for me. If you do that, you are still doing the assignment. You're doing what needs to be done. Do you think that we are going to chastise you if you don't do it yourself? No, you're still getting the job done. You see the difference? Money seems to be an issue with everyone. You all have very definitive beliefs about how money comes to you. The more you believe you must work hard for the money, the harder you get to have to work. Many of you believe it is quite normal to work hard for money, and that if you don't work hard for money, then it is dirty. Let us ask you to remember the word effortless and incorporate it into your vocabulary. Say to yourself, I am effortlessly intending this come about. To be effortless is the command to reality to bring itself to you in a way that gives room for plenty of energy to be expended in other experimentation. Remember, your reality is a result of your thoughts. If you believe that things are hard, what are you creating? Many of you have spent lifetimes honoring and respecting family members and people of society who believe are uplifting citizens and who represent to you a certain work ethic and value system. You have no thought to question this work ethic or to see if there is any other way. So you believe that in order to get money you must expend a great amount of energy, or you must be employed by someone who is going to give it to you, or whatever. These ideas are completely and totally erroneous. We cannot emphasize that enough. When you are allowing spirit will compensate you in a variety of unexpected ways. The only reason this has not happened before is that you just didn't believe it was possible. When you believe things are possible, reality changes. State of mind is the name of the game here. We cannot emphasize to you enough how you feel about reality and how you program reality is how you are going to respond to it or how you are going to present itself to you. This is why we say, go for it. Be outrageous. Do what excites you. Do the impossible. You can do it. You can do whatever you want to do. You will transform your world no matter what state the world is in. Remember, when you learn the rules of the game, that you are the result of thought, and that this is the law within your universe, all you need to do is think of how you want it to be, and so it shall be. Once you figure this out, you can design your body, you can design your age, you can fix everything about yourself, because you will be self-moted, self-empowered, and self-generated. There you have it, chapter 11. Very good chapter, right? About how we can change things. How we can change things, all with our thoughts. Remember, we studied the Kybalion. What is the first principle? All is mind. We live in a mental universe. Isn't this confirming the same thing? This isn't talking about the Kybalion, but it's talking about wisdom from sources from outside of our system, outside of our planet, and yet they are still talking about the same thing. So the mind is very important. We live in a mental universe. Speaking of which, this article at In5D touches upon the same idea. This is from Michelle Walling. Going within the door to higher consciousness. What does it mean to go within? This question is on the mind of most people who are awakening to the multidimensionality of this reality. Many people have different experiences, but there is one similar thread that all people need to know about. The term going within is the method by which we discover who we truly are. To go within simply means to be with yourself, to listen to yourself and your higher self, and to feel yourself by calming the mind and clearing the clutter, allowing more space for your higher thoughts to enter your being. So how do I go within? Well, going within has been tied to the term meditation. And while this is an excellent way of doing this, there are also other ways that may not actually be termed meditation. Most times we go within without realizing it when we are daydreaming. Sometimes when you're driving and just kind of in that zone. If you're lying in bed, you're not completely asleep. You're in that state, kind of a meditative state. Sitting in nature definitely is one good way. You feel the energy around you. Singing, painting, writing, washing dishes, mowing the car, mowing the yard, doing a repetitive task, taking a shower, bath, reading, watching TV. There's lots of different ways we can kind of connect in with ourselves. Okay? It's not just necessarily sitting, but they're all kind of connected in similar ways because we are learning how to go in. If you think about what the mind does while doing one of these tasks, you will realize what it means to go within. It feels like you are moving the focus from the outside world and going off on a little trip inside, right before you catch yourself and bring yourself back into the moment of the task at hand. The next thing to add is intention. As you sit with yourself, intend to turn off the five senses and withdraw from the world that you are used to existing in. Focus on who you are as consciousness and feel what it is like to be that. Acknowledge this consciousness and intend to bring more of this consciousness into your body. Having this sense of self-awareness strengthens the connection to your higher self by placing your attention there. As you continue to do this, the connection continues to strengthen. As you practice this, you may or may not see things. Some people receive letters, numbers, or symbols in the mind's eye. Some people feel a tingling sense of warmth and love. Some people may realize thoughts or movies. However, some people may simply receive what they perceive as nothing, but is actually the peace and serenity of the true selves. When you go within, you begin to crack the door open to the higher consciousness. Contemplating who we are will reestablish the connection that has been lessened by the last round, the genetic manipulation of humanity. Spend the time with yourself to grow this connection, opens the door and more multidimensional selves. When you begin to realize your multidimensional existence, you gain the ability to forgive others and to see things from a higher perspective of love and understanding. You may naturally separate from conflict and from people you do not no longer resonate with. You build a sense of truth and knowing within your infinite nature, and you begin to understand the polarity and duality that exists within you. You realize that you are connected to everything and everyone, and the journey for balance begins. Once you have practiced going within, it becomes something that you embody. You are always connected to the multidimensional self, and you're able to access this part of you without having to try. This will be the one thread that is the same for everyone at this time. Your life will flow in synchronicity, and precognition will appear to show the way. This is truly the biggest benefit of going within, and there's one thing that must be experienced on an individual basis to fully understand. Take the time to yourself to reflect on who and what you are, and the magic will begin. Again, connected into this last piece we read by the Pleiades from Bringers of the Dawn, it's about going within. It's about connecting with ourselves. And the more we connect with ourselves, the more we truly understand the power that we have. And when we truly understand the power that we have, we're going to be able to move the mountains that we heard can be moved when one has such kind of power. All right, here's a message today from the angels.
Message from the angels.
September 20th, 2014, by Ann Albers.
The angels.
My dear friends, we love you so very much. When you have a desire or a dream, you enter into a dance with God and the entire universe. You begin to put out an energy that says, I love this dream. I want this dream to come true. To the degree that you love it and allow yourself to be excited by the prospect, the signal you send out to the universe is strong. Fear weakens the signal. Doubt weakens the signal. A commitment to have what you want, even when you have no clue how to make it happen, strengthens the signal. Focused love is a powerful force. So when you want something in your life, begin by allowing yourself the joy and the passion involved in thinking of having it, feeling what it would feel like to have this situation, and therefore this feeling in your life. Allow yourself the feeling now, even before the situation arrives, for in so doing, you become a magnet. Then, dear friends, act. Act when you receive the impulse to act. Act when your heart says, do this. Act when you are guided even if you do not know if you have the strength, the resources, or the time. And when you are not guided, wait. Wait patiently for God to put these passionate impulses in your heart. Wait and trust that events are transpiring to facilitate your dreams. Wait until the next step is revealed to you, simply in the form of an impulse or inspiration. All of life is a dance with all of creation. You send out a signal through your thoughts and emotions, and the universe responds. You wait until you are guided. God acts behind the scenes and you act when inspired. And before you know it, dear ones, that dream that you thought so impossible, is created step by step, one moment at a time. God bless you. We love you so very much. The angels.
Very nice message from the angels, and that brings us to our meditation for today. So close your eyes. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Take another deep breath. And exhale again. And another deep breath. And exhale. And keep breathing in and out. And as you breathe in and out, focus on the effortlessness that this breath has upon your body. Think about the effortlessness that your body uses this air. And this process continues on, and we move through life effortlessly each and every day. And imagine yourself moving effortlessly through life. And as you do so, all of the barriers are removed. And you understand even more clearly that the world is a mental construct. That the mind is very powerful, and when we think about what we want, we manifest it into life. So we think about what it is we want in our life, and then we effortlessly state our intention to have the very thing that we want. And then we let it go, and we let God. And we begin to trust the process of simply ordering from the universe what we want. trusting that it will arrive in due time, and then just observing the effortlessness with which this process occurs. And as we continue to practice this, we become better and better. And it becomes more effortless. As we look around the universe and look around life, we realize that abundance exists everywhere. It is a law of the universe. It can't help but exist in all places at all times, and all we need to do is just ask for that which we need, and it is provided, because that is how it works. So we imagine ourselves going through the day, calling forth those things that we truly need in our lives. We send love and light into our being to eliminate all the places where there is doubts and fears, for they only get in our way. And as we eliminate the doubts and the fears, we become strengthened and more faithful. And as we become strengthened and more faithful, we find that we're able to observe the effortlessness even better than before. So let's imagine ourselves just moving through life today, moving through life, experiencing the moments of effortlessness, and really observing life for what it is we want. Let's send good vibes into the planet today on this Jewish New Year, this first day of Rosh Hashanah. Lashana Tova. May it be a happy and peaceful year for all. May the blessings of your heart find their way into the manifestations in your life. And may this planet be a home of peace for all inhabitants upon it. Let's hold that in our mind's eye, imagine all these good things happening, and let's bring our present moment, our conscious mind back to the present moment. Let our subconscious mind continue on its journey. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale and open your eyes. That's it, my friends. That is it for today. Thank you very much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. Till then, enjoy your day. Enjoy this first day of this year, 5775. It's interesting when we look at the calendar years, isn't it? We have the Gregorian calendar that counts one time, and here we're 2014. Then we have the Jewish calendar. It's 5775. Very, very interesting how time is looked at. And then, of course, you got the Mayan calendar, which is something else, and so on. Many wonderful things to look at, consider. Anyway, that's our show for today, my friends. Have an awesome day. Happy New Year. Lashana Tova. May this be a wonderful, peaceful time for you and your family. I love you. Keep loving each other. I'm out of here. Peace.